Welcome back. So the Azanian People's Organization is today expected to picket at Belinda Magor's residence in Boksburg. Magor's voice note on her defense of pit bulls went viral on social media last week. She was arrested on Saturday after a criminal case was opened against her. Now, Magor is expected to appear in court in March next year after she was released on warning for allegedly calling black people rapists, thieves, and calling for them to be killed. Let's listen to what it was she had to say in that voice note.
Get rid of them because they are the problem, not pit bulls, not animals. Animals are beautiful and they deserve a warm bed, food, love and attention and everything else.
Yeah, for more on this, let's bring in our senior reporter, CHRISELDA LEWIS. Now, CHRISELDA, a good morning to you. There's been massive reaction to that voice note shared in a WhatsApp group. Picket already. Tell me what you're seeing out there.
Well, that's right, Naledi. A picket in Boksburg outside Belinda Magor's house. And AZAPO is carrying placards here this morning saying that Belinda belongs in a trash can you'd be able to see there. Blackness will not be outlawed by white racism, as some of the placards also here. And also, we won't tolerate racism and racists. So AZAPO is out here this morning outside the home of Belinda Magor, we understand. We had reports as well from the Sowetan newspaper regarding the fact that her landlord has also kicked her out of this house where she is at the moment, but we are not sure at this particular stage whether that has indeed happened. And, you know, this is not the first time, Naledi, we've seen incidents such as this, where such comments, distasteful comments, are being made on social media and other platforms as well, where, you know, many have called out and said those who make such comments, racist comments, should face the full might of the law. You would know that Belinda Magor will appear in court next year. A case of criminal injury has been opened against her. She was released on warning, we understand, and AZAPO is here to say today that this won't be tolerated. And in fact, you know, those who are found to be you know, spewing such racist incidents, you know, should face the full might of the law. I want to speak now to the Deputy President of AZAPO, and she joins me this morning. So thank you very much for your time. This morning, placards saying SABC must protect and serve. You know, racists cannot be tolerated in this country. Belinda belongs in the trash can. Will not tolerate racism and racists. This is not the first time this has happened in this country, and it doesn't seem like the message itself is getting through.
Yeah, I said this morning that unfortunately it seems as though South African racists are pervasive, and there aren't systems in place to reduce racism in South Africa. Over the years, we have had to tolerate rhetoric like the kinds coming from Belinda, and then we will get an apology, you know, like a forced apology, as you have seen with all of the interviews that she has done, or people that she has spoken to. She's not sorry. This is something that is innate. So there is an innate belief that Africans are inhuman. And I think we are here today to send a message to racists that we don't want you to apologize anymore. What we actually want you to do is leave our country. If you find that our hospitality over the 300 years, because you came into our country, you stole our land, you dehumanized us, you hurt us, and even after all of that, we didn't drive you to the sea. We gave you space to live. If that is not good enough for you, please take your bags and leave, because we will no longer tolerate it. We will not be coming here and getting sorries from anybody. What we are saying today is that we will drive you to the airport ourselves if we have to. There will be no racists in South Africa. If you are racist and you run a company in this country, I will make sure that I personally come into your company and I will break it down, because I am sick and tired of people who are dehumanizing us. I am human. This is my land. I have nowhere else to go. This is home for me. If it's not good enough for you,
This is not the first time we've seen this. I remember in the Randburg Magistrates Court, covering the Adam Katsovolis matter, we've seen this kind of rhetoric. Do you plan as AZAPO to also open up a case? I know that a case has already been opened already. Do you plan to join that particular court action? Perhaps, maybe you believe that might be the way to get the message across.
So we have already opened a case in Krugersdorp on Friday already. We were told that by today or tomorrow we should be expecting an arrest. We know that she was arrested on crimen injuria. What we have laid a charge on is crimen injuria, incitement of violence against black people, also an incitement of genocide, looking at the fact that she is in fact telling people to kill us, not just that, but to ensure that we can no longer procreate. So we've laid those charges, and we are hoping that she will get arrested and that in fact she will stay in jail. As you can see, one of those placards talks about the SAPS being able to serve. The South African police services and the justice system really and truly needs to come to their party and start showing these racists that we will no longer tolerate their hate. It's completely unacceptable.
Okay, let's okay. Now, thank you very much indeed, the Deputy President of AZAPO. Thanks indeed. We'll take a look at some of those placards once again, saying that the South African Police Service must protect and serve. In this instance, they're referring to saying that the police must do their jobs. A number of other placards as well that have been brought up. Apartheid flag is spit on the face of black people. So we've seen the protesters, of course, from AZAPO come here in Boksburg to make their voices heard. And they've indicated that they've already opened up a case as well of incitement to violence, Naledi, as well as a criminal injury. You would recall that Belinda Magor had already been arrested but was released on a warning, is due to appear in court next year. And it seems like, the cases against her are certainly going to pile up, judging from the uproar regarding those racist and distasteful comments that were made regarding black people. Naledi?
You mentioned earlier that there is the possibility that her landlord may have asked her to leave the residence where she has been living, CHRISELDA. Do we know at this point where Belinda Magor is?
Absolutely not at this particular stage, Naledi. We're just going to move towards this direction. You'd see that the protesters are moving from where they are at the moment and moving towards the entrance of the complex itself where she lives. And I'll just show you in just a moment. You refer, of course, to the landlord having kicked her out. We don't know at this particular stage whether she is even here. You would see that the community or this complex that they live in is closed off. There isn't any security, or there, in fact, looks to be a guardhouse, if I'm not mistaken. I'll show you in just a moment. And that will give you an indication, of the fact that we're unable to get inside the premises. Of course, I don't think they were going to allow us to do any of that. And we'll just show you at this particular point how we're unable to establish whether she is still living here, given reports, of course, by the Sowetan newspaper that this is where she's been told to leave from. We understand. Let's just take a listen to what they're saying. They're saying "Makapume," which means come out.
Racist Magapume! Magapume! Racist Magapume! Amanda! 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 One Azanian! One nation! One Azanian! One nation! Belinda Magagandwe! Magagandwe! Belinda Magagandwe! Amanda!
Well, Naledi, we're not quite sure at this particular stage whether she is behind these gates. You'd recall I referred to a Sowetan newspaper article in which, according to that report, her landlord has told her to leave these premises. We don't know at this particular stage whether she is still here or not. But what has certainly fueled a lot of what is taking place here today is the fact that, political parties or organizations, South Africans in general, black South Africans, are saying this simply cannot be tolerated anymore. And they believe that the leniency with which individuals who still spew, these kind of comments should be dealt with by the law. And, they're saying that just opening up cases and for them to disappear, you'd recall, I made reference to the Adam Katsovolis case, which we had covered, which was in the Randburg Magistrates Court, and there'd been a fine in that particular instance that had been, given out in that particular case. So what we're hearing here today is AZAPO indicating that they're not going to tolerate this anymore.
Outside here, Belinda, there are so many uteruses out there. Come fetch them, Belinda. Belinda, come shoot us. Come shoot us, Belinda. Come, Siakfuna la. We are not going to be intimidated by any one person. Come and fetch the uterus. Here's it. Come fetch it. Strada Belinda.
Naledi, that essentially, I must apologize for some of the language being used. It is live television. I have no control over it. Apologize to our viewers for some of the swear words being used. Let me see if I can. Sabona put unshani chi unshan put ngicela usondela kancane baba. Belinda usakhona la?
Mina lo Belinda akumazi nokumazi kubhubana. Akumazi. Uduma ngokuyenza lo Belinda. Ongizwile into namhlanje endabeni.
Ukhona la?
Angimazi yena ukuthi ukumkhomba ngedilo uBelinda akumazi. Anginaso isikhiya. So ningalinda makuze emoto efuna ukuzophuma izovula ora ngayobiza ukhetheka.
Awumbisi ukhetheka ke baba. Sike sizwe. Siyabonga, this gentleman who's Naledi coming from inside the premises here, well, he claims that he does not know Belinda Magor. In fact, he says that he's going to call the caretaker because AZAPO wants them to open the gates at this particular stage, and we'll see if anyone does come out. I did manage to catch a glimpse of some of the neighbors here, but they're not coming towards the gate at all at this particular stage. There's also been, let me just show you, my colleague can come this way. You see that some of the security has also been brought in here, kind of like patrol in this particular area. You'll have a look there. That's where some of the patrol has been brought in. This road leading towards this complex has also been closed, and residents who are in this area have also been diverted to another area as well. I'm going to ask my colleague Tulo Munare just to face towards the other direction, and you'll see the road itself being closed off right there towards my left. And but yeah, they're just trying to make sure that there isn't any a flow of traffic towards this particular area. It kind of does look like it is quite a busy road, given that just across the road there's a school here, and the securities are basically being brought in to ensure that the protest itself, or the picket in this instance, does go ahead. AZAPO continues on the front of this gate, and this is where we believe Belinda Magor was staying. That obviously not being confirmed at this particular stage by the gentleman who came out to the gate where we were.
Yeah. Well, our reporter CHRISELDA LEWIS in Boksburg, where we're seeing that AZAPO protest that is protesting against the voice note allegedly sent by Belinda Magor to a WhatsApp group. We're in it. Belinda Magor is allegedly heard calling for the uteruses of black women to be removed and for black men to be killed because they rape, steal, and kill. That was, of course, in her response to the ongoing debate over pit bulls in the country. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on that story. We certainly would love to hear it. At the agenda_SABC, do you believe that racism is still very much pervasive in our nation? At the agenda_SABC, I believe CHRISELDA now speaking to the caretaker of the complex. CHRISELDA?
No, the Belinda, the black hater, the racist who speaks a lot of nonsense about black people. We want to see her. We want to visit her.
I don't know.
Belinda.
I don't know.
The racist. That's her name.
Yeah, look, all I'm trying to say is I don't know who you're talking about.
Here.
So what number does she stay in?
Come again?
What number does she stay
We
in?
don't know. We know that she stays here.
So how do you know that she stays here if you don't know anything? If they don't know where she stays or her surname, then how do they know that she stays in this complex?
You don't have anyone by the name of Belinda Magor here, you don't?
No, not that I'm aware of. There's only 21 units here, and I know all the people by their first name, and I'm not aware of a Belinda. Yeah, so unfortunately, I can't help anybody regarding this. You know, if they had more details like a surname and a unit number, we could address the problem further, but at this point in time, what can I say? Well, I can't allow them into the complex just to rant and rave when they don't have any actual, information. You know, we need proper information before we can do something further. That's all I can say. Hey? I'm the chairman.
Belinda Magor.
Yeah, but what number?
We don't have the number. We have the number of the estate. You ask for the surname.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know a Belinda that lives here.
Belinda Magor.
Yeah, but I don't know a Belinda that lives here.
But you know your tenants. You've got the list of your tenants. Go and check in the list of your tenants and make sure that this Belinda is here. He doesn't belong in South Africa. We need to rebuild dromedaries for her, and she must go back home where she belongs. Not in South Africa. We are not going to allow it as a black consciousness movement, as a black people, as a pastors, and every black person is not going to allow Belinda to degrade us as a black people. We are not black by mistake. We are black by the material condition. Just tell her and make sure that she fuck off out of your property.
Okay, you know, there are some places here that are leased, you know. Some people rent places here.
So she doesn't live here? You don't know any Belinda?
No, I honestly don't know. I'm not trying to avoid any situation. Do you know anybody by the name of Belinda in this complex?
That's what I've come to find out who Belinda is.
Yeah, I honestly don't know who Belinda is. As the chairman of the complex here, I can't give you any further assistance regarding that.
We don't know Belinda.
All right, Naledi, what we're hearing here from a man who's identified himself as the caretaker here, he says he doesn't know who Belinda Magor is. And
Given us a unit number, but she lives and works from here.
Wait, at Willowbrook Close.
That's right. She's right here. We can show you. I mean, where's
This
that?
is Boksburg Bookkeeping Services. And
That's
those
who she
are her
is.
numbers.
Are we at the wrong place? She is in here.
Yeah, that's the place.
That's right. No, absolutely,
place.
she's in here.
Yeah, but I don't know her. You know, I don't. As I said, you know.
But where's the landlord?
No, there's no landlord.
You are an owner, right?
I am one of the residents here. I own a house here. Now, there are only 21 units here. And as far as I know, there are 2 or 3 that are rented. So, you know, I don't know.
You want one of those 3 rented?
Yeah, but I don't know who it is over there.
One of those 3 rented units
And
is
we also
where
want the people who stay in here to know that they are staying
There
with
is
a
a racist in here.
Yeah, okay.
Then she needs to be uprooted. She must know there is no safe place for racists here. There is no safe place for racists. We also want the residents to know that no racism will be allowed.
Yeah, we understand it. And
So we want the person who is the caretaker of this estate because we want to have a direct visitation to Belinda.
Yeah, but I must first try and find out and ascertain who Belinda is. I will go look on my email and the list.
But this is a work address. J is what? Bookkeeping services. Those are her numbers. Because we have done our homework before we came here. And we are serious about meeting her.
She's also got a number there, so you guys can I phone her? Yeah, phone her and let's check if she's in there.
Because is there another Willow?
It's off. I've already tried calling her.
All you see is got there, Leith Road and Tricart.
She confirmed.
Is that maybe not the business park there?
No, I went there yesterday. They said there's no such business there.
Yeah.
It's different offices. They said she's located in here.
The phone is off. I've already tried it.
We're hearing now, Laledi, that the number that had been on the internet, which showed the number of Belinda Magor, has been off for a couple of days now. And what we're hearing from these two residents inside this complex is that they don't know who Belinda Magor is. This is despite the fact that on the internet, if you're able to go on there, it will show the address of her work, I guess should be working from home, or has a business running here. That, they're claiming that they don't know who she is, that there are some homes that are rented here, and perhaps that could be someone who is there. But they're saying they have absolutely no idea who she is.
Can't you feel sorry for us as a black? Actually, we don't need your sorry. Because our black
we just want to meet face to face.
We need to meet face to face with her.
Face to face.
Okay, we are trying to help us.
This is the first time I hear about it,
So are you trying to tell us you have not heard those insults?
No, unfortunately, I've not heard any insults.
Wow.
And I don't know who she is, so I'm trying to...
Which news channel?
Her website, it goes off, so I'm unsure. See,
we try to phone the number, it doesn't work. It's not going through.
It doesn't go on, so I don't...
Didn't you saw the news starting from the whole...
I don't watch the news.
No.
Because the news is depressing, so why must I watch the news?
What did she
and
say?
even ask Belinda, that is depressing to us.
Belinda
is depressing us.
Yeah. So unfortunately...
So, Naledi, several attempts being made by picketers here have, they don't seem to know who, according to what they're saying, they don't seem to know who Belinda Magor is, and not much headway is being made. The number that was on there was also phoned. That has been off for a number of days now, and they're saying that they cannot help the picketers or allow them inside the premises because they don't know who Belinda Magor is. Naledi?
I think, thanks, Criselda. Certainly an ongoing, I suppose, tug of war at that gate where, as Criselda is saying, there are people inside the complex saying they don't know who Belinda Magor is. The picketers with AZAPO, as Criselda has said, insisting that Magor should be, from what they believe, in that complex. But just to take us back, this is all stemming from a WhatsApp group that was called Pitbull's Be My Voice. And in there was a voice note that was sent allegedly by Belinda Magor. It's about 1 minute 7 seconds long, and in it she is quoted as saying, what I say is ban the black man. They rape, they steal, they kill worse than any pit bull could, and they get away with it. Ban those who are making the laws. Ban Ekuruleni, ban the black man. Get all black women to cut out their uteruses and their ovaries so that they cannot procreate, because they will all turn out the same, because they are all the same. We're going to keep going back to that story with CHRISELDA LEWIS, who's keeping a close eye for us in Boksburg. And of course, we're taking your thoughts on Twitter as well. Do you believe that racism is still very much a pervasive challenge in South Africa? Tweet at the agenda_SABC. We do apologize for the poor quality of the audio coming out of Boksburg, but a big story. It's a big story, and we certainly will be bringing it to you. And apologies as well for the language used by the picketers. It is live television, unable to control some of these factors.